Hi guys, so the inspector is inspecting and I'm just going to kind of walk around the house with the camera and take a video, and I'll probably talk some while I'm doing it just because I talk a lot. But anyway, inspection is going very, very well. I don't know which video you'll end up watching first, but I will do a video with the inspector of his out briefing. But so far, things are going very well. I don't think we found any issues that are significant at all. Obviously, a home of this age, he's going to find little dents and dings and blemishes. He'll inspect the home as if it's a brand new home and call everything out. Things that he calls out that are code issues that weren't code potentially back when the house was built. That's kind of something that's expected in a house of this age. Now, if somebody has come in and done a bunch of work on the house, they should have brought it, whatever they were working on should then have been brought up to code. So anyway, that's kind of the theory on that, if you will. Anyhow, I'll take a video of his out briefing. His report will come out early tomorrow morning. He usually sends them out about 6 a.m. my time. You'll get a copy, I'll get a copy. We'll both want to go through it, obviously take notes. The first and kind of foremost intent here is safety related, so things that could hurt a child, hurt a pet, that sort of stuff's kind of a no-brainer. Let's say unprotected electrical wires is a good example, but things like that, the safety related stuff is kind of first and foremost. Following that is functionality. So systems and structure are expected to function the way they're designed, meaning the roof keeps the water out, the pipes keep the water in, that sort of thing. So let's say we have a leaky drain or a leaky faucet or a slow drain. We would ask that things like that be corrected. And then lastly is cosmetic, and it's generally accepted with cosmetics that you should have identified cosmetic issues when you were initially looking at the house, and asked for them at that time, unless it's something that's hidden or some other circumstance. And I don't think that there's any cosmetic issues here that we are going to be asking for, or not very much anyway. So and I don't think I got into these. I think it might have been open when I took the other video, I'm not sure. But pretty standard depth closet, about 2.5 feet deep, full width of this portion of the room. So pretty cool starfish door pulls. Looking out across at the neighbors. This neighborhood over the last 10 years or so has really kind of turned around. The real estate, our neighborhoods kind of go through a life cycle. It's a 20 to 25 year cycle. The folks buy the homes, raise the families, so on and so forth. 25 years or so later, maybe 30, they sell the house to younger folks. People come in, start fixing them up, cleaning up the neighborhood, so on and so forth. This neighborhood is probably 3/4 of the way through that kind of renovation phase, if you will. And so there's a few houses in here that still look very, very much 1980s. But most of them, people have gone through and done this sort of thing, and a lot of people kind of leave some of the 80s stuff and some of that character. And that's what they've done here. Sometimes you'll see them where people will go through and literally gut them down to the studs and start over. That wasn't done here, and obviously that wasn't necessary in this house, but they've done the important stuff. They've upgraded all the windows and doors, and the roof is newer, and so on and so forth. So anyhow, that's what I thought was going to be the furnace. And I'm looking at the tag here, and I don't remember if I did this when I walked through before, but this furnace hasn't been inspected in a while. So I would anticipate we'll be asking them to have the furnace inspected. The water heater looks a little bit older too, and water heaters, you just don't know. They might last 10 years, they might last 40. This is a big water heater. It looks clean. I don't see any rust on it or anything. So I imagine you're probably good to go there, but we will want to ask them to have the furnace serviced. And the little downstairs bath. So I'm sure that little niche was once a medicine cabinet. This is kind of a nice setup here. They've obviously modernized this a little bit. Hello.
Hello.
And this is their storage room. I don't think this guy is, I'm pretty confident this guy is not military, but he must be prior service. And this is Keith, our inspector.
Hello.
And as I said, we'll do kind of an out briefing with him when he finishes up this afternoon. And we still, garage about the same as it looked the other day. Oh, this guy was a Coast Guard guy. And I remember looking at the electrical panel when I was in here last time. All very, very clean. No signs of any moisture intrusion. Foundation all looks good. But now I'm starting to do the inspector's job.
Yeah.
So you sweep your dirt up to it and it...
Headed back up. And I think I'll probably walk around the yard real quick again and the exterior. Oh, step. Step, step. This is a nice house, but I'm a little spoiled too. I like the cedar siding and the setback in the trees like this and everything. So. And it gives you a lot of privacy. I mean, you are back from the road and not looking right into any of the neighbors' windows. So, and then this out here, these pipes sticking out of the ground are part of the set. Those are clean outs for the septic. So I'm guessing the septic is running right through this area here in front of me. And on the other side of that, they have these raised beds. And these are raspberries in this first one. And this is some kind of fruit tree. And it looks like it's an apple. I just broke the tag off it. It's a Braeburn apple. Oh, and there's another tag. So, and you got another driveway coming in here if you wanted to bring an RV or anything like that in. Or landscaping equipment or what have you. That looks like some more raspberries over there. These people must like raspberries. And we did not address this play set in the contract, and that is considered personal property. If we want to try to get it, let me know. It seems to be pretty hit and miss. Sometimes people are just adamant they're taking them with them, and sometimes people don't want to have anything to do with them, and they're thankful that you're willing to accept it. So anyway, and this, I'm not sure what we have, if we got a wood pile going here or if we have a kid's play fort. I think it's the remains of a wood pile. Yeah, this is his wood area. Very, very clean, well taken care of. There is one thing that Keith, I think, is going to mention on his report, and I don't know what can be done about it. But the way they've attached this roof, and it's, it's 2x4s in plastic, so it's very lightweight. They haven't done a bad job of it, but hanging this 2x4 off the siding like this is not really, if you were to pull a permit and so on and so forth and do this, or if you were building a new home, they would require different attachments and so on and so forth. But the guy did a good job on it, and it's well put together. It's not going to go anywhere. But anyway, I'm sure that will be on the inspector's report. So, and I think it's going to be one of those things where, maybe you put some longer bolts in it, but there's not much else you can do. And these are good heavy screws that they have going in here. They're so I don't think this thing is going to go anywhere. But anyway, that's going to be on the report. So I think that's probably about it. I'll head back around to the front. This is getting to be a pretty long video. And this thing is a boat motor, and it's this is the heat exchanger is what makes me recognize it, and that kind of goes along with thinking this guy's Coast Guard. He's got a little Coast Guard flag there too. So anyway, yeah, it looks real good. One thing that Keith also noticed, Keith is the inspector, up under here, this is solid, but there's been some moisture that got back under the shingles, and I'm going to get the camera up here. I've got the camera about 3 feet over my head now trying to take a picture, but what's happening is the water was coming down with too much force to that corner, and it was wicking back up under the shingle, so they put that diverter there, that little piece of metal that you see kind of sticking up in the valley of the roof. That's to kind of divert the water out to the sides and slow it down a little bit, to stop that from happening. And they've stopped it, and there's no decay under there or anything, but there's a little bit of staining, and I'm sure that will be on the report as well. So anyway, I think I'm going to pull the plug on this, and we'll talk with you guys soon.